everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Shaughnessy, and if you like my vibe, subscribe. So today I'm going to be doing a review comparison, more comparison on two fragrances. Y'all are gonna say, Shaughnessy, how many times are you gonna show this fragrance? And I'm about to hold up. But this, like I said, this week is going to be subscriber request videos for reviews. So I did my first episode in my series, If You Like This, Fancy This and That. And I did Gemini Paradiso. Now, I had quite a few people ask me in the comments, okay, I see what you were saying about the good girls in this fragrance, but I have heard people compare it to Jean Paul Gaultier's Labelle. So can you tell me if these two smell alike? And so that took me by surprise, because when I initially smelled this fragrance, I immediately thought of Good Girl. I didn't think of any other fragrance in my collection. So I said, okay, I don't want to just off the bat say yes or no. I just said no in the comments. It didn't come to mind, but let me do a wear test. So before we get into it, I want to talk about the notes in this fragrance for those who may not have seen some of my previous videos. So in Gemini Paradiso, the notes are pear, mandarin orange, floral notes, jasmine, precious woods, vanilla, and amber. So we're gonna go over the notes in Jean Paul Gaultier's Labelle. And the notes in this, just 3 notes, pear, vetiver, and vanilla. So let's smell them, shall we? Now, in my opinion, this Gemini Paradiso, as I've said previously, in the beginning, it reminds me, it's like a complete dupe to Good Girl Leger. The initial 30 minutes, I would say. It smells exactly like that to me. And then the more it wears and the dry down, it reminds me more of the original Good Girl, but that it still has its own character. It's still its own fragrance. Even though it smells like them, it's something in here that's different. And maybe it's the vanilla and the pear that I smell predominantly when I wear it. That even though it reminds me of those two fragrances, especially the Good Girl Leger, like I said, for the first half hour, that is still its own fragrance, and I love it for itself. Now, Labelle, as I mentioned in, I think it was my first impressions video, and it's been in a couple other videos. This to me is it's a dressy fragrance to me. It is, I just think of winter dressed up fragrance when I smell this. Now, when I actually wore these two, because I wore one on one side, one on this arm, and I was just sniffing back and forth, off and on all day. And surprisingly, I did see where people were coming from, that they were saying, oh yes, Gemini Paradiso reminds me of Labelle. But to me, Labelle is sweeter. It's sharper. You know, like I said, it's more wintertime to me, where this is any time of the year, every day, easy breezy, effortlessly sexy fragrance. And Labelle, it's not as smooth to me as the Gemini Paradiso. This would be a heavier version. If you're going to say they smell alike, the Labelle would be heavier than the Gemini Paradiso. And I asked people in my family, I was like, okay, you all smell it, tell me what you think. And they all said this is heavier. They didn't smell just alike, but they smelled kind of similar, and that this Labelle was heavier. And I was like, this one has a sharpness to it. Like I said, it's not as smooth to me as a Gemini Paradiso. And I said, maybe it's that vetiver. And so let me look up and really research how vetiver smells. And I have it written down It says it's a dry, earthy, woody, leathery, smoky smell. And it says, think of uncut grass on a warm day, and it gives you an idea of what vetiver smells like. And maybe to me, that's why this Labelle is not as smooth as the Gemini Paradiso. And I do, when I kept wearing it, because I have not been wearing this fragrance, when I smell this and haul this, I'm saving this for winter because, like I said, it has a sharp note to it. I do get the pear. I think that's what people are saying, maybe their noses are getting, they're saying these are like. The pear in this smells like the pear in Labelle. But that's as far as it goes to me. They are not dupes. They are not similar enough for me to say, oh, if you fancy Gemini Paradiso, you will fancy Labelle, or vice versa. I can't do that with these two because I don't get the same vibe from these fragrances. This is pear and vanilla, and I do get the jasmine on my skin. It's smooth. It's delicious to me. It's just easy, confident, easy reach, sexy fragrance. This to me is winter, sharp. I do get the pear, I do get the vanilla, but on me, I get a lot of that sharpness. I do get some of the smokiness. I do get some powderiness in Labelle to me also. And also I get kind of a tea fragrance, just a hint from this fragrance Labelle also. So to answer my subscribers' questions, I had one subscriber say she absolutely just detested Labelle, but she was interested in Gemini Paradiso. So I would say, if you dislike the pear in this fragrance, the pear, then I wouldn't go for Gemini Paradiso. But other than that, I do not see much of a similarity between the two. I prefer both of them, but they give me totally different vibes. So, you know, I'm not one to tell you how to spend your money. So I would say if you don't want to blind buy this Gemini Paradiso, I would still say, to me, it doesn't smell enough like Labelle that if Labelle puts you off, that you would automatically dislike this fragrance. It just, to my nose and to asking people in my family, they don't smell that much alike to me to warrant saying if you don't like Labelle, you won't like the Gemini Paradiso. But I will go as far to say, if you don't like the pear, if you don't like vanilla, then you might not like this, because this does have pear and vanilla. So I still stand by the Gemini Paradiso. To my nose, on my skin, reminds me more of the Good Girls. When I smell this, it still doesn't put me in the mind of Labelle. That's just my opinion, and I hope the couple subscribers who were asking me about my opinion on these fragrances smelling alike, I hope this helped you. I hope it will help you make a decision, and I hope it was informative, because like I said, I'm still practicing on and getting comfortable with doing review fragrances. So if you enjoyed this video and if you found it helpful, please give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment below telling me what your opinion is between Gemini Paradiso and Labelle. Do they smell alike to you? Because to me, they just don't smell enough alike that I would say if you need one, you don't need the other. If you like this one, you like this one, or if you don't like it, you won't like it. They just don't to me, but I'm curious to see what you all have to say. Please turn on your notification bell so you'll be notified each and every time I upload a video. Please share this video, y'all, with anyone and everyone who you think would be interested and would find it helpful, because I'm trying to reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers by September, and I need you all's help to reach that goal. And when we do reach it, we're going to have a giveaway, and we're going to have special videos that I have saved for when I reach 1,000 subscribers. So as I always say, if you like my vibe, subscribe. Until next time, bye.